Okay. All right. Here we are.
Listen, I have a lot to talk about, but can't. And you know what's funny is because this whole idea that we had was to just be able to talk to one another about just, what's going on in our lives and stuff like that. So we have to be, but regardless, when you're dealing with the public, right? Because this is something that's going to be open to the public, you really do have to be careful with the things that you say. And it took me so long to just do this setup because I was gonna take my laptop and keep it on the side, because when we say things, it's like we should check that to see, like, fact check it.
Yeah, like
And
we
then I would
fact
go
check.
right on the computer and do it and find out. Let's Google that shit.
Yeah, we
And see
gotta
what they
Google
do.
that shit. I mean, it'd be great if we could have a fact check app running while we're podcasting that we could
Yeah, but
see.
then we have to touch it.
Oh, I just picked my nose.
Yeah, but then we have to touch it.
No, like the newscasters have a,
Oh, like in the front, like a thing, and then
yeah,
they,
they have like a
yeah.
laptop or
But that's
something
what I'm
like.
saying. Oh, wait. Because I'm sitting off to the side. So really, here's the center, but I have enough here that I have like a little laptop. And I go, wait, hold on. And I could just take my laptop.
Yeah, all right. So this will be, I believe, the third episode, and we're starting to dive deep into January. I always had this idea that I could restructure the calendar. That I told you I want to restructure the calendar, and the reason I think we could do it, we could change very easily to 13 28-day months. And the way we could do that is to take away the excess between 28 days and how many days are in any given month. For example, I happen to have it calculated here. All right, so we got 3 in January. We have
Right.
3 in we have 28 in February, so nothing in February, 3 in March, 2 in April, 3 in May, 2 in June, 3 in July,
Right.
2 in 2 in August. No, August is 3. September is 2.
February, there's none.
October is 3. November is 3, right?
November, yeah, just, 30 days in November.
Oh, so it's 2. And December is
Three.
3. Oh, so I'm getting 29 days.
But that's all right.
But so we
But
could have,
still,
theoretically, we could have on a leap year 2 29-day months. And on the non leap years, we have 1 29-day months.
right.
And what we could do then is turn every month into a 4-week month. So now let's talk about the benefits of having 4-week months. We could have on a leap year 2 29-day months. And on the non leap years, we have 1 29-day months.
Right.
And what we could do then is turn every month into a 4-week month. So now when Linda says, oh, we're going away for a month in March. Well, no, we're actually going away for a month and 3 days. We're going away for 31 days. We're not going
Right,
away
because
for
there's
four
7 days
weeks.
in a week, there's 4 weeks
Times
in a
4
month,
is
it's 28
28,
weeks.
right? So we're going away for more than 4 weeks.
Right.
Right? So it would resolve that on rental. A month is going to be primarily a 28-day, 4-week month. We can create a 13th month. Now, my proposal is between January and February, we add a month in there, right? And I don't know, we could call it
Trying to keep
Banya.
it,
We could
I'm
call it,
trying to keep a straight face because I know
I
we
want to
already
call
know
it Banyuary.
January. So how would it, so it would
How would it
be
sound? How would it flow from the tongue, if you will? January, Bonuary, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December,
December,
January,
January.
January, February, March, and then we're back, right? So it resolves the rental situation. It resolves vacation. It
Right,
resolves payroll.
right.
Um, we could then, with those extra days, everybody should get, now that we have this extra month, we should just take off because
We should
we
get
didn't
January.
have that month before.
Right.
Nobody would miss it.
Nobody would miss it. So like everybody
We,
should
the
be off.
people, should get the extra 28 days or
Right.
29 days, right?
And then we
So,
would be off. So
and then you
then,
would get your accrued pay date that you would normally get anyway, all your holidays, your paid time off,
right.
whatever you get. But in addition, every American would get one additional month, 29
January.
days actually. They would get Bonuary off because it was
Well,
never
so
there.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I would think of. You're saying January. Now, here's something to think about. You're saying January should, because it's the 13th month, you're saying it should come after January. I think it should land after June,
June, and we could call it,
January.
no, because the Aries are in the winter. July,
Boom,
June.
boom.
No, it should be something like, oh, we can call it vacationary,
Vacationary.
right? So it would be June,
Relaxionary.
vacationary, July, of relaxulary. Oh, this just opened. We should,
Right, because of the
oh,
placement.
right, because then it's like you're getting a nice month off.
Yeah.
You right? You might as well add it when the weather's nice, and then give everybody that month
What did
off.
you call it? Vacationary?
Vacationary. Now, I think for the purpose of this podcast, I think everybody,
Vacationary is the
Claude,
best.
I would like people to comment. Put in your comments
Down
when
below.
you down below. Put in the comment when you think we should the placement be after January or should the placement of the new month be after June?
I say after June because it's the 13th month. So it'd be six, vacationary, and then six.
Vacationary June, vacationary July. I mean, that's
That
just our
changes
proposal.
everything.
We want comments
Down
below,
below.
right? What do we name that extra month? What would the name be if it were after January? What would the name be if it were after
I
June?
mean, look, we've said, look, honestly, all kidding aside, we've had January going. You've had that going on for years, January.
Yeah, because I've always assumed that it was in the winter. But what if the preponderance of our massive audience votes? What did we get? 3 views on the last podcast, and one and two of them were ours. That's so sick. Our kids aren't even watching. You know, if our kids don't watch, that can open the doors.
Could we block them?
We should block them as viewers, so
Because
we
then
could. We should be
talk
able to
about
speak.
them. We could freely and just talk about
There's
kids.
so much we want to talk about. But we're prisoners. That's another thing. If they want to comment below,
Down below.
uh, comment on, do you want to hear us talk about things that would probably sever our relationships with our kids, our siblings, our should we speak openly like that, or should we be more reserved in our subject matter?
No, because they want drama. These people want drama. They want the juice. They're gonna watch. Because I kept the other night I was thinking to myself, really, like, who really gives a shit about what we're talking about? You know, it's like they're gonna hop on to Tone and Claude and Tone and just see what they have going on. And I'm like, are we really that important that they want to know what we're talking about? You know, I seem to think that
So
we,
this video, I just realized I don't have my wireless mic on. So
but that's all right. I mean, you can hear
whatever
me,
this is real. So if it sounds different, I kind of
but I
just put
mean,
it
you hear me fine. I don't have a special microphone.
right. But you hear on our professional broadcasts how nice and rich my voice
I
is.
think if I could just set just set up my whole apartment as a studio, I would get like the microphone, that kind of like is here.
I gotta see on Riverside or on iMovie if we could, let's say, for example, if I wanted to say, you know, my son Andrew, beep, beep, beep. Can we add that? Like, can we actually put the beeps in? I don't know if it has that functionality to beep off.
Or I mean, right, when you edit, you should be able to edit out, like names and stuff like
Let's talk about beep.
that. I really have a lot to say today about beep. And I'd like to say, what do you do in a situation when you're dealing with beep? Beep,
You
beep,
know
beep,
what's
beep, beep,
going
beep,
on
beep,
with
beep.
beep? Do you believe he beep, beep?
Did you hear what happened with beep and beep? Like, what do you say about that? Because when
People are
I
like,
think about beep
but
and beep,
people should comment below. Wait, not in the cup of coffee, but below in the comments. Comment if you would be interested in hearing a redacted version.
yes,
If you want to hear a redacted version of the
of a
podcast,
real
then you're going to
conversation.
primarily hear a lot of beeping. There won't be any substance, but you can figure it out. Can you imagine our kids like trying to figure out who are they talking about?
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep,
So,
beep, beep.
so
That
I
beep,
said beep I said to beep, beep, beep.
beep.
I don't think that we should, listen, you guys have
What, to,
beep.
to all three of
Beep, 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 beep.
them? Right, I go, yeah, I told beep and beep. And you go, both of them? We wouldn't have to redact like that statement, like both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that's that story. So we can't really do what we
So
want to do.
listen, we're just gonna sit here and kind of just chop it up. Hey, how
Yeah.
about the weather?
I'm telling you, man, my creative wheels are spinning and we are gonna come up with something.
We have to be able
We have to figure out how to get
how
more
to
than
talk
three
about
views on a video.
just, everybody in our lives.
Yeah, like we had in the last video. I mean, it's disgusting.
Leave it up.
3 views. Now the first
Yeah,
one
because people will.
we got 36 views on the first one.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, so see, like the copyright, things show copyright, but it says that the owner is allowing us. So I think that's like when I use, for example, I'm taking the format from Riverside. That's a copyrighted format with the split screen and all of that.
Right.
But Riverside allows us to use that, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
well, then
it
what's the
shows
point?
up as copyrighted.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, for their sake, to protect, so nobody copies what we're doing. It's their copy. It's their
Yep,
copyright, which is fine.
yep. And this is Claude and Tone having a cup of coffee. But
Yeah, you know
at
what? I
this,
just did a little herbal tea. I did lemon, ginger, and manuka honey tea.
yeah, yeah. So that's that. I got without getting too specific, but Linda had a little procedure, so I've been nursing her,
Right.
and it's funny because um, I think about just the whole concept of caretaking,
Mm.
right? And how mommy was. Yeah, for those, you guys don't know us. If the three people that watch the video don't know us,
Yeah.
uh, Claude and I are siblings, right?
Right.
Um, my original name was Antoinette, but I identify as Tony now, Tone as, and Claude was actually before she changed was Claudine, but now she prefers to be called Claude.
It's just easier.
But we're siblings originally and in our new persona, if you will. But and our mom, Maria, um, was a born caretaker. She was amazing. She could fix a wound. Like if you got cut, I remember once I attempted to go roller skating because our brother Don was roller skating on this hill. Oh, what do you have? Visitors?
You see him in the back?
Oh, that's Chipperoni
And if you look, Stellarina Ballerina.
and the Chipmeister.
Yep.
He came out. He can't see or hear anything worth doing, but he's there. He's some
No,
instinct.
you know what it is? It's like he could definitely hear. He's just not understanding why it's like, okay, everything is moved around so that I
Yeah,
could
why
put
is
everything in a
everything
different,
staged?
yeah, in a different
Right.
position. He's like, all right, this thing is here. Why don't you go sleep on your cozy over there? Go sleep on
So
your
I'll
cozy.
get back to the caretaking, and you could relate it to Chip in a second. But just to talk about, where do we get that instinct of being capable? You need to be willing,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to be capable of taking care of someone when they need to be nursed, when they're convalescing. There's
It's
definitely,
true.
it's a skill and it requires certain capabilities. But I remember the first time I really realized that mommy was um, talented.
So,
She convinced Don to let me go roller skating with him
oh,
down. So what was that? Saddam Street, where the St. Joseph's Church was in
yeah,
Brooklyn. So St. Joseph was on Saddam Street, right?
right.
And at the end of Saddam Street, and this is in Bushwick, where it intersected with Knickerbocker Avenue. So coming down, back down towards Knickerbocker from the church, it was a hill, and it was a popular spot for neighborhood kids to roller skate down the hill because you can go very fast. So he says, "Okay, I'll take him, but we're gonna be no, no, he'll be fine." I put these skates on.
And
I
you
put
took
these
off.
skates on, and I started going. And so he says, "All right, you go." I went, and about halfway down the hill, I realized that I never learned how to stop.
Oh,
So now I'm going down this hill on these, and it was those old metal skates that had I think ours had the clamshells. The really cool ones were the ones that had that little lip on it that went into the side of the sole of your shoe.
Yeah.
But we had the 40 ones that were like a clamshell. They were called clamshells,
It went on
right?
top and it kind of
That
like
went on
showed like,
top, and you would still tighten that with a key,
yeah,
and they were metal. The wheels were metal. The frame was metal. The clamp that clamped onto your sneaker or your shoe, that was metal.
yeah.
So I was all clamped in, and I'm going down this hill, and I realize as I could see Knickerbocker Avenue, and I realize I don't know how to stop. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm going fast. As a kid, I thought I was doing like 50 miles an hour, but
Yeah, I was gonna say
I was
something.
probably going 5 miles an hour, but much faster than. And I had this thing where I put my arms out like that. I was horrible. It was like I was on a tightrope, you know?
Yeah.
I never got it with skates. But anyway, so now I go into survival mode at the end, and I only have one shot to save myself from racing into Knickerbocker Avenue and potentially getting hit by a car, right? So I see a Plymouth parked, an old
Oh,
Plymouth
you're
parked.
gonna go into the car that's parked.
No, no. How about this? It had an ornament of the woman with the
Oh,
and the pointy nose. It was like an ornament of a bird in the front.
yeah.
And I, with this hand, with my left hand, because the car was on
Oh,
that side of me, I grab onto that ornament. My momentum spun me around, and the beak of that bird tore
oh,
into the palm of my hand and made a, I could still see it. It's probably an inch and a half cut, a tear right down. I don't know if you could see it,
I
but if
don't
you
know.
look really close, you see
Yes,
there's a
I do.
scar. You see the
Yep,
scar?
yep.
And boy, so now, of course, I ruined Brother Don's skating day with his friends. And he knew it was going to happen because
And
now he's in charge of getting me home because I'm bleeding. It was
right,
bad. He wasn't going to keep skating, right?
right,
So
right.
he gets me home. And mommy, this is how mommy did it. She didn't have alcohol, but she had red wine in the
Yeah,
fridge. She takes my hand, first puts it under the sink, pats it, it's bleeding, dries it, pours the red wine over it,
yeah.
okay, to disinfect it, I guess, right? And then took regular Domino's sugar, poured it over the wound, right? Constantly trying to dry it, put the sugar on it, right? And then once I had the sugar, she says, Make a fist." She came back. I opened the fist. She took gauze bandage and she tied it. So the wine disinfected the wound. She
And
cleaned it
then
with
yeah,
water,
it's almost like and then the sugar seals it.
and the sugar made it stick together,
Hmm.
right?
And
Why,
wrap it.
to give my hand a chance to heal, right, with its
Yeah.
own clotting and everything. And it healed. And the scar is straighter. And I mean, a plastic surgeon couldn't have made a wound scar this perfect where you can barely
Yeah.
see.
And you know
And
what? It's amazing because I was, cooking. Um, I don't know what I was cutting, and the knife just went like right through, like what.
oh, and you felt it. And you were like,
But
oh
it
boy,
was
this is.
bad because I was on a roll. I was like, I gotta chop the
Yeah, no.
freaking
And
thing
you were like,
open.
as soon as it happens, you know it,
I
right?
said, "Oh no, I knew it," and I looked down, and it was deep. I should have gone to the
Yeah,
hospital
to
for
get a couple of
stitches.
stitches,
And I
right?
was like, I am not. Here's my mentality. I said, oh no, I just got to finish what I'm doing. I'm not, I have no time to go to the hospital. And I had wine. I did the same thing because I remember from mommy. I did the wine with the sugar and I wrapped it with the wine and the sugar. Like I cleaned it out, did the same thing, dry wine, sugar, made like a paste out of the sugar and the wine and wrapped it
Right.
and then just waited. I couldn't even tell you which finger it was.
Yeah.
There's no scar.
No, all right. So some weird
If
remedies. How
no
about
stuff.
this one? A headache. You remember the remedy for a headache?
Oh, potatoes.
And then
Potatoes
una fascia. A
around the
fascia
head.
is like a bandage around with the potatoes on the temples, right? And then so the potato,
Yeah, but you had to have a severe headache to get the potatoes.
if you to get the potatoes,
You had to
number
have like
one,
a
yeah,
migraine.
because she's giving up potatoes now that could be used to feed us, right? So
Right. So
she
there
ain't gonna
had you had to
waste
have
them
a
on a
pretty
small
good.
little headache,
Oh yeah, you had to have a pretty good reason to have
like a
a headache for
migraine.
potato. It was a migraine. Like,
Yeah, you had a
mommy, I can't
migraine that you
see.
couldn't take it, and you got the potatoes, and the bandage around that was holding the potatoes against your temples had to be so tight.
Yeah,
And the theory was that the potato, because it's absorbent, it draws, right?
it
It
draws out
draws,
whatever.
right. So, and then that was the headache. Another one was a splinter. Speaking of drawing out, do you remember what the remedy
The
was if
one
you
for
got a splinter that you couldn't get out?
was it vinegar?
No,
What was it? I now
it
I forgot.
was amudica, the
Oh,
white part of the pulp of the bread, the Italian bread. She would
right.
take a little bit of the inside, which in Italian is la mollica, or in Sicilian it's amudica, right? And she would take that, soak it in olive oil,
Olive oil, and it would
and
draw
then put a little
rapid.
bandage or something, wrap it over, directly over where the splinter was, in the hopes that the olive oil would soften it, and as the bread sucked the olive oil, it would blow up, and
It
that
would pull,
suction action would pull,
pull.
and it worked.
Yeah.
It would work. Now I don't know if it was.
Enough for her to just take a tweezer
Then
and
the
go.
tip, the tip would be expose itself at some point, like the next day, and then she'd go in with a little tweezer, and she could get the end of it and boink, yank it out.
How about when she used to take the pearl needle to kind of like skim the top of, like with the needle, skim the
Yeah,
part of the
burn
skin,
the needle. She would light the needle with a match.
right? Cool it off because then it was sterile. And then
Right.
she'd take the needle straight with whatever, straight with the skin and kind of skim the
Yeah,
top of
and
the
create,
skin.
like, like, so the skin would open up like that
Right.
and
And then
expose
she'd be
it
able to pull.
laying down, and then she would pluck from the side,
Yeah.
try to get to it. Once she created that little, it was like the parting of the Red Sea, right? She
And
would, with the
then she would be
skin,
able to pick out the
and then
splinter.
she would be able, with minimal, because that's minimally invasive,
Right.
because you're just parting the skin. So you're not getting to where it hurts or it bleeds. And then once you're there, she would pick the spot where the thing was the most exposed, whatever your splinter. And we always got splinters and stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
playing with wood. The other thing was when I was a kid, and if you remember any other, but I remember when I was a kid, I used to get severe aches in my legs because I was growing. I ended up being the tallest one in the household. I was like 6 feet. So when I was a kid, you're growing. I see it with my granddaughter, with Ellie.
Oh, she gets the leg
She
pain?
gets the leg pains
Oh.
when she goes through her growth spurts. So I naturally,
Yeah, you
right,
gotta
I
have the
go, take a
warm,
wool. It has to be
be
wool.
wool.
Don't do flannel.
Has to be wool.
Has to be wool, natural thing against your natural skin. You can't put something unnatural like polyester on your skin. It's unnatural. So it had to be wool, which was natural.
Mm-hmm.
But what mommy would do is she would take the wool sweater, and the sleeves, she would iron them,
Ironing and
okay, to
put
get
them.
them nice and warm, and then pull the sleeve up over your leg.
Yeah.
And most of the pain was in the knees, which makes sense when you're going through that growth. You're pulling on ligaments. As a kid, you get pain. you know?
It's
Now they're like,
painful.
oh, give them children's Tylenol. We didn't take Tylenol. We didn't take that crap, you know? And I used to love that. She used to put both sleeves of a wool sweater over my legs, and I would end up falling asleep with
Yeah.
that wrapped with potatoes over my head, oil, bread and oil, like a
Bread and
focaccia
oil.
bread on my finger. I was like a walking salad.
You know
Or,
what she used to do for me? Because you didn't get the earaches. I got earaches.
oh, I remember the era. I would get an occasion. I know what it is, but how did she do it for you?
So she would, first of all, if it, and it was really bad, sometimes I get like the lumps on the long side of my neck from the earaches and stuff like that. She would take a piece of cotton,
Hmm.
she would dip it in olive oil.
Oh, look at that olive oil. I mean, you know, it's
She
amazing
would
we even
heat
ate
it
a
up with
salad. And
she'd heat it up with like a flame
oh, okay.
so that
Like
the
the what?
olive oil
The
was
tip of it.
warm, the
The
tip
tip
of
of
it,
right.
and then
Now,
she would
what would happen? Would she put it in with the flame still on fire?
no, no, no. So she would just, we gotta remember this is before even like microwaves, right? Where you could even heat up the oil, dip it, and put it in. Like, what's the
No, but there
difference?
was something about the charcoal. Again, a drawing to
A
the charcoal
drawing, yes,
drew.
yes,
It had
yes.
to have a little of that
And
carbonization on it.
and she'd leave that in there, but she would cover my ear with the wool, like a wool scarf that she ironed
Right.
to keep on there so that I would rest. And the same
And
thing would
she would
happen.
what?
I would
Hold
fall
it
asleep.
together with like a string of sausage tied around your head to hold it.
No, she would just make sure that it was like around my head, like, or she'd wrap it
Right, wrap it and
around my
tie it like a
head.
rabbit thing on the top.
Yeah, like
Wrap,
so I
wrap,
had like
yeah, and
to
that would hold the thing.
hold
So
it,
when you slept, right? The theory was when you slept,
and it was warm, and then the olive oil,
and
and
then if you turned around, the oil a little bit would drip into the ear,
yeah,
lubricate the ear, and eventually, a lot of times when you get earaches like that, if you didn't have an infection, it was because we was swimming or
swimming
something, and you got water in your
inflammation,
ear.
whatever.
That
Yeah.
would draw the water out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other remedies.
Well,
Uh,
she used to do the basic Vicks on the chest,
the basic Vicks on the chest, the
right here.
basic Scotch on the toothache.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a fair amount of it, Scotch or whiskey on my gum and my toothache because they
Oh,
didn't really have antiseptic
I have
things.
one. I have another one for you.
Okay.
Stomach ache.
Oh, yes, very
Mom,
natural.
I have a stomach ache. It hurts. And she'd be like, okay, could be gas or whatever. And automatically she would make, which, you could Google it. It's Tisana.
Right.
She would
There's
make Tisana.
there's a store in the mall called Pisana, a tea
But
place, a tea
yeah,
store,
yeah, Tisana, that's what she would make. She would boil water
right?
with the rind of either an orange or a lemon and a
I
bay
see.
leaf.
Right.
That
And
was Tisana. And then she would put sugar in it. It wasn't like,
right.
oh, the sugar was gonna, it's like, no, she would put like maybe a teaspoon of sugar and she'd let that
To make
steep
it
with,
taste a little better. And then what would the result be? What would happen when we drank that?
it would set it's because the bay leaf and the, I guess, whatever's in the rind settles the
Alcohol.
stomach.
Alcohol.
Now, if it was something, if it was just, let's say, indigestion or gas or whatever, you would, the gas would come out, or you
Oh,
would
you
burp,
would fart or you would burp.
you would burp, or if it was a little more, you would instantaneously throw up.
Oh, I never threw up from
I
tisana.
did.
Oh.
I remember having cream puffs, which I'll never like. I don't.
She
Not,
was on a kick where she was making the cream puffs,
you
was it?
remember? Yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah.
her cream puffs. It was her cream puffs. So I ate a couple of cream puffs, but maybe I was getting like a stomach virus or something. And
How
when you get that,
freaking good were those cream
they
puffs?
were really good.
The cream, there was no bakery that had that cream the way she used to make it. It
It
was
was
different.
really, really good. Yep.
Now,
Yep.
she used to put it in the baby bottle too when the kids were colicky. Like
She
if
would do no
what would she
colicky babies was different.
now what would she do in the baby bottle? She would do a
She
little
would do
mixture.
1 ounce. She would do 1 ounce. Like she would boil up some water. She'd wait for it to be warm. She'd let it just. She would boil water just enough to put in the bottle, like maybe a couple of ounces,
Right.
with 3 or 4 fennel seeds.
Oh, fennel, right, the fennel seeds. And that would cure colic
Yep, that was
in
for
the
colic.
babies.
Make them
Yeah.
digest better because
Yeah,
they
and
don't.
make them drink that, and all of a sudden you hear now you're tapping them. They go, "Bah," like
Yep.
it would make them burp, But
Yep.
it was milder. The fennel tea was milder than the bay leaf.
Then
The bay
yeah,
leaf was
then
for
the
adults,
bay leaf is for adults. Fennel is for kids.
right? And then of course there was some cures for you know something we used to call in Sicilian culture. It's called malocchio.
Yes.
And like the evil eye, if somebody wished you harm or you
Yeah,
felt
but you want to know something? But that is not well for us. It was because we were Sicilian, but Italians know too, and most
and
cultures,
Latinos,
all cultures have it. All cultures.
right, right. But that was all part. So with the malocchio, the thing was, and I don't know, we don't have to get specific, but there would be prayer involved, and the person that was afflicted with the evil eye or malocchio, as they refer to over here, it's like evil eye. It sounds, but malocchio is very common. That oh, come on, please, what do you want to give me malocchio? The Italians they don't look at the Southern Italians. It's
Yeah.
not like a
Well, because it's based on if it doesn't necessarily like somebody's gonna like hex you or anything like that. It's based on other people's
ill. It's like
desire
ill
to
wish,
have
right?
what
Or ill
you
wishes,
ill
or
with, like you're like, oh,
jealousy,
jealousy,
envy.
envy. Oh, I
Yeah.
wish I had what they have. It's like you're looking outside of yourself. It's not good. That's what can cause
That
that
can cause,
because
and that kind of sticks to you, and it creates this malocchio, this feeling that you feel distorted. You don't
well,
feel right.
the real one, the real affliction from something like that is, um,
Headache. You would get a
headache,
headache.
feeling sick. You could be nauseous. Bad things. You like your health could go down. Um, things don't go right for you. You think something is planned right, and then it doesn't turn out right. But a lot of things, especially um, not feeling yourself, like you don't feel
Right,
yourself.
right, right.
Hair,
But it
lo-
was all part of
hair loss.
this.
It could even be hair loss.
With,
Your skin looks, your pimples, like shit like that.
but she knew it all.
She
I
did.
never felt like, as a child growing up in our home, that there wasn't that there was maybe something that if you were afflicted with high fever,
High fever.
put ice
Uh,
cubes in the bathtub, let it
yeah.
go. But
On the
just the
wrists.
basic, yes, the basic treatment was ice, an ice bath, and she would add rubbing alcohol. So anyway, and when you had a fever,
How
if it
about
got a
that?
little high where aspirin wouldn't, because Tylenol wasn't out yet, like in the 60s
No,
and
it
stuff.
was
I
aspirin.
think it came out in the 70s, right? But so if aspirin didn't do the trick, then she would go, the next thing would be this little, like she would get a bowl, do an ice bath kind of thing, put
Right.
ice cubes in there with water, add a certain amount of alcohol in it,
Yeah.
because the theory was that when the alcohol mixture with ice, the ice water would bring your temperature down, and the alcohol would
Mm,
absorb the
yeah.
hydration into your skin. It would draw it, again, drawing it into the skin. That
Right.
was the theory. It might not be true scientifically, but that's what she did. And then she would have these little, like, rags, like pieces of old dish towels that were like rectangular and maybe about, less than a foot long, like maybe 6 or 8 inches long. And she would put them over all your lymph nodes, the back of your neck,
Your
touching behind your
wrists,
ears.
your
If
wrists,
it
your
was really
ankles.
bad, under your armpits,
Yeah.
right? The cold rags,
She
your
always
ankles,
the wrists, like on my head, right here, my
along the
forehead, my
head. I would
wrists.
get them on the back of the neck if the
Yeah,
fever was high.
yeah.
I've had it where it was, if I was laying down with a really bad fever, on my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what she was doing was cooling off the lymph nodes, the
Yeah,
main lymph nodes. That's all the spots where you have a lot of concentration of lymph nodes, your groin, your ankles, your wrists, under
yeah,
your armpits, your neck. uh, and then if it got really bad, one time ice, fill the tub up with cold water, put as much ice as you can, and just put you in the cold tub of
yeah.
water
Ice. Yeah, like
to
an
get
ice
your
pack.
fever down. And then if that didn't work, we lived 3, 4 blocks from the hospital. It would have been go to the hospital, but I don't remember ever having to go to a hospital.
No, me
Eventually, the
neither.
fever would come down, and and once
I
it
mean, really,
stabilized,
rarely an antibiotic growing up.
yeah, none of that stuff. Control the fever, chicken soup,
Mm-hmm.
the putting your head over the Vicks with the steam,
With the
and
steam, like you
putting your
just
head over it, like with a
for
lot of
the
Vicks,
congestion.
a lot of Vicks vapor rub.
A lot of. I
The
mean, she was with me was
vaporizer in the room.
yeah, the vaporizer with the Vicks in it. The
Yep.
whole thing was eucalyptus. The whole room was
Yeah, and I
was like
love that
beauty,
smell. I love
beauty.
like when I go to a spa at a hotel and they give you an offer if you're getting a
Yeah,
hotel massage, and they say you can have lemon, poppy, rose petal, or eucalyptus. I always choose eucalyptus.
yeah,
I love that smell of the eucalyptus, of the menthol.
yeah.
The menthol smell. But yeah, so that's where it comes from. It's from the upbringing, but then you have to have the capability. And the capability comes in, hypothetically, somebody cuts their hand and they're bleeding. You could have all the talent in the world or desire to be a caretaker, but some people look at blood and they faint.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
yeah,
where you have to be capable. You have to almost, I feel that the way I get when I go into caretaker mode is I remove the emotion. Like there can't be, you have to be, there can't be that kind of emotional connection. You could have a feeling of a loving feeling that you want to give somebody warmth or to feel better, but you can't tie emotion in. There's a job that has to get done. You identify there's a fever, I got to get the fever done. You identify you're on a schedule with your medication. Sometimes you got to be tough and say take your pills.
right.
Like
It's time
that's
of
all part. And you got to be confident that when certain things happen, it's like no, 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 I got this. It's a
yeah.
fever. I can get this fever. I'm going to give her this. I'm going to wait a certain amount of time. Like there's a certain logic, a capability that has to exist
Mm-hmm.
that it helps. You know,
Yeah,
I had a friend of mine.
absolutely.
His wife had a procedure. He was like, I got a nurse to come to the house for 48 hours. Cost him like 5 grand. She
Wow.
stayed in the hospital one night when she
Mm-hmm.
had a procedure. It was an elective procedure for a woman. And so that was not covered. He paid. And then uh, 2 additional 48 hours of around the clock nursing care for the 3 worst days, you know, day
Right,
of,
coming home, and then 3 days,
and then, right.
3 full days.
So the coming home didn't happen until day two,
Right.
right? Day one was in the hospital, so that she had around the clock care, and then day two and three, she had the nurse sitting by her side, doing everything that she needed.
Right.
watching for her temperature, making sure her medications were on schedule,
Yeah.
cleaning wounds, doing all of that kind of stuff. But you can't be weak in the stomach. That's an emotional thing for me. When I look at a cut and it looks like, oh, this is a bad cut. If I think from a point of view of emotion, it affects me. I get it. The emotion makes me sick to my stomach, when you look at something like that. But when you think more mechanically, like there's a job to do. Okay, what are we going to do? Is it bleeding? No. Okay, let's make sure we shore this up. Or sometimes it's as simple as I'm 5 blocks from a hospital over here.
Right.
You have to be able to recognize this is out of my talent
That's out
range
of
here.
yeah, right, exactly. You got to take
This is out
care
of
of
my
them.
talent range. We got to get you someplace where they're going to do this the right way if it's a bad
So
cut.
this is what you've been doing
Yeah,
for.
so for the last couple of days, I've been in that focus, and
It's
but
working out
it's
so
okay.
far.
It's working out great. So and it's a good feeling. You feel good when you do that, and it helps, and you see the person starting to feel better.
Yeah.
There is a satisfaction that comes from that,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you could help. It's the truest form of help. It's not help. It's not helping someone so they can make some money.
No.
It's not like being an office assistant, not that kind of help. It's helping someone that needs to recover from an illness, a condition and you're trying to make them feel comfortable and give their body a chance to heal, right?
Yes.
So anyway, that's that story.
Yeah. So we
And
went into a lot of mommy
yeah,
things
yeah,
that you
this episode was mommy and her old healing remedies and recipes, and we're good. We're good. We could wrap it right there. That could be the crux of the podcast today. 52 minutes.
That's
It'll be
perfect.
about 45 minutes when I cut out the whole bathroom break. You
Yeah.
know, and that's it. So tomorrow I do my
And
little.
the new calendar.
Oh, and we did talk a little bit about the new calendar. So just to wrap up, if you want to make a comment down below, okay, about the new calendar proposal that I have, and if you think it's a good idea, if you think it makes sense,
I say put it in the middle.
whatever your comment is, you think it's stupid, we want to hear that. We want that kind of feedback. And also, what would the name of this additional 13th month be if it landed in midwinter and or midsummer?
Right.
Right? What would you name it if it was a month after June, in between June and July, or what would you name it if it were between January and February? Would it necessarily have a different name, for either position on the calendar?
Right.
And what do we do with this extra time? Like, what would you propose we do? Right? It's a good idea, right? If you think it's a good idea, say, okay,
I
now we
think
got
it's a
this
great
extra.
idea because, like, you're thinking, I'm thinking to myself, that would be so nice to just take that whole month off.
Not take it off. It's your human right,
Mm.
right? The
To
powers that be,
just
they
break
say,
up the
listen,
year.
we're restructuring. We're not
We're
part.
chilling.
Now this is the way work weeks work, and this is bi-weekly can go away. It could become bi-monthly, so you don't get those 2 extra paychecks a year anymore, but you get a whole month off
Right.
that's paid for. So you really do get the 2 paychecks, but it's for that time, that god-given time.
Right. You're getting it when you're off.
Right, because you're participating in the transition of the calendar. It's a human right. They say, listen, this transition is going to take 10 years. Everybody that's here when we start this, for the next 10 years, you get January off. Your employer has to pay you, or
Vacationary.
vacationary, right? So we got that. And then the other topic we covered was moms, old fashioned moms, from the old
Remedies,
country, and their home remedies,
home
right?
remedies. That
Home
worked.
remedies. Did you go through anything like that? Were there,
They really worked.
could you relate to any of the remedies that we, right? I would just, down below, put a comment down there and let us know if you've used any of them. Potatoes, jardinera salad on your head for a headache, whatever. We were like a walking grocery store, you know. But
You know what? Oh, I have one more before we go because I wasn't a good eater, which would have been nice now in my 60s not to be a really good eater. But I wasn't a good
oh,
eater
you know
growing
what
up.
happened?
What?
Oh, a call was coming in. It stopped the video while the call was coming in,
Yeah.
and now it restarted again. So
All
go
right.
ahead quickly.
So I wouldn't, I wouldn't be a good eater. So she used to give me the shake. Remember, what was the place you would get a shake? Where would we go to get our shakes? Probably Barboni's.
Oh, yeah, we would go up to Barboni's and get a
Get a
shake or
shake,
or
and
an egg
she'd send
creamer.
one of you, either you or Don. She'd say, "Go to Barboni's, get a shake," and then I'd either have the shake, or if she didn't have somebody going to get a milkshake for me, right? Because then it's easier to drink a milkshake to fill you up. She would beat a raw egg in sugar. Do you
Right.
remember that?
Yeah. She
Like
loved like
literally, like whip it,
whip it with
whip,
sugar, would make almost like a cream, and
like
then put it in. Would she put it in the
no,
shake, or you
no,
would
that
just
was just straight. That was
right?
it was either a shake from Barboni's because it was a vanilla shake, right,
Or
with
her
the ice cream,
concoction with the egg
or
yolk
her concoction if nobody was around and she had to stay with me, right? Because I was little, instead of dragging
to
me out
get
to
some protein into your
get
system.
some protein, she'd whip a raw egg, but
Yeah.
she would whip
Yeah.
it and beat
Yeah.
until it turned into a whipped cream of sugar and egg.
Yeah, and you would eat that. I
Eat that.
remember when we went to the city and we used to pass this place called Orange Julius. And she loved Orange Julius for that reason, because she was like, "Oh, I would do it without the orange juice, but we would have an Orange Julius. I'd say,
Yeah.
Mom, you want, well, they're just a small, just a small one." But yes, she loved that because it was natural.
Yeah.
And everything was natural. There
Everything
was
was
no
natural.
Splenda. There was no
No,
things were sweetened with regular cane sugar or honey.
no,
That
and you
that
want to
kind.
know something that really, and think about it. This was remember, the whole water bottle phase, right? Like we have to go buy water, and it's in these plastic things, and it's purified, reverse osmosis or whatever. Mommy would put it in glass. She would only drink the
Yes.
water out of glass, and I would be like, "Are you kidding me? You have a water bottle. Just drink it out of, like, why even bothered dirtying a glass?" She'd say, "Because it's better for you out of a glass, and it tastes better."
Yeah. And Grandma used to say it tastes better when you would let it rest.
Riposata.
Yes, she would rest the water, because her theory was, and she's probably right, any sediment that was in the water, you had to give it time for it to go to the bottom. And then she wouldn't drink
Yeah,
the
she'd
water at the
leave it.
very end. She would leave 1/5 of it or whatever, because her theory was that's where all the minerals that she didn't want, whatever
Right.
sediment was in there. But yeah.
Yeah. She
So,
would
and we could
literally,
go on and on.
I know, she'd set the water, put the napkin on top because nothing would go in it because it was going to sit there for a while. And then that's how she drank her water.
And I think that's going to be a wrap. And this will be episode 3. We'll get it up in a couple of days. And